Hello. Welcome to Improve with Joe. I know what'll make this better. Mass gainer! Oh yeah, we're doing it. Oh yeah. It's gonna blow! Ooh, I love it. Alright, let's go ahead and get started for the day. Gonna go ahead and clean up a few of these little things. Alright, after that quick little time lapse, let's go ahead and get started. Basically, yes, I did fill up Mass Gainer with rain. It was orange dreamsicle, so just gotta go with it. But yeah, looking forward to the video today. Thank you for all new people who are here, new subscribers. You might have come from the JUJI and Tom video or anything else, whether or not it's the Monolith, JUJI and Tom. I'm slowly getting out there. But either way, I want to address some of the comments in that video because, spoiler alert, I kind of clickbaited you. You know, sorry, surprise. So I'll go ahead and talk about that, talk through some of the comments. First, I want to talk about some major political stuff. But before that, anyone seen Dr. Oz as the Jeopardy host yet? Watched him last night and a few other episodes, and I'm not impressed, Dr. Oz. Even Katie Couric was better than you, but you're still doing a great job. You're still good. It's unfortunate that you promoted a lot of pseudoscience over the years. I don't know if you're aware, audience, but he has, promoted some false claims, and as a major doctor spokesperson, that's literally who he is. I kind of want all of what he promotes to be factual. And while people can be wrong, come on. Either way, we're going to get to mail today. I've got a new package, which I'm pretty sure what it is because I already opened it, but I'm doing it again for the hell of it. Ooh. Behold the pale horse. Very excited for it. As well as that, I also have Pale Horse Rider. William Cooper, The Rise of Conspiracy and the Fall of Trust in America. So this book is what came first. This was written by an ex-military naval intelligence briefing team member who basically went rogue and said a lot of stuff from those things. Unfortunately, it might have been kind of biased by the whole meditation, deep regression meditation to get that information back, to remember. But it's definitely inspired a lot of QAnon type stuff. Alex Jones. Really, so many people have been inspired by this book. Unfortunately, some pretty negative people, some positive people. I'm hoping to be one of the positive people, though not 100% inspired by it. I haven't even read it yet, but looking forward to it, as well as Mark Jacobson's pretty thorough explanation of this book. Looking forward to both. Mark Jacobson, going to interview you at some point. I reached out to you about that. He did contact me back, which was very cool. I found his post from another website, which basically was talking about another kind of like cult weird leader type thing, and he was basically reaching out trying to get information and put his phone number. So I reached out. I need to call him. Mark Jacobson, I'm gonna interview you at some point. Yeah, that's that. Another one on the table is the Divisive myth. Have not read this one yet. Looking forward to it. It's Modern Monetary Theory and the Birth of the People's Economy. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure. Read through Being Ram Dass as well. Anyone's interested in it, very, very highly recommend it. Message on the back is pretty important. Love everyone, serve everyone, remember God, tell the truth. While I am personally not religious, I do not believe in the quote-unquote God. I believe that there are potentially other things, whether or not they're fourth or fifth dimensional beings that are like representing themselves and expressing themselves here. Who knows? What if we're all the representation and expression, the artistic representation of fourth and fifth dimensional beings that we have no conception of, that we have no idea of? Who knows? Last book that's on the table. This one's going to give me a hernia. Essentials of Strength and Conditioning. Strength and Training and Conditioning. Strength Training and Conditioning. Words, they're important. And the order of them is important. We all know that. What word is important to you? Put that in a comment if you want to. But yeah, so definitely excited. I got a bunch of books to read. I need to get to them. Very, very excited for Pale Horse Rider. It's been featured in a lot of rap songs and hip hop stuff, actually, because of the Illuminati and all those type references. And honestly, the message for African Americans, Black people, people of color in the United States and in other countries, it's kind of talking about how the system, society is against you. And for a lot of African American, Black people of color, I would imagine that's how it feels. I have never had a real taste of it, real feeling of it, but that's what I would imagine it would feel like. Just constant, utter oppression, and like, even if it wasn't real, like, because obviously, all opinions and beliefs and everything, like, some of it's more real than others, but like, even just the feeling of the oppression. I mean, hell, Jewish people have been oppressed for 2,000, 3,000 years. I gotta imagine that feeling has had something on them too. But yeah, next, let's go ahead and go through some of the comments. So on the previous video, which was about JUJI and Tom splitting, I won't go through details because, like I said in the video, I don't think we need to talk about the details. I mean, the detail is important, obviously, and this is coming from a place where I do know the details because I looked it up. Because I never told you that you couldn't go look it up. I even referenced where it was. But yeah, in the video, all right, let's see. One, thank you all for the support. Thank you for coming and watching. Seriously, welcome to Improve with Joe. Thank you for being here. The channel has grown in just the past couple days. I think before I posted the video, it was like 240 something. Now it's up to 285. 285. Seriously, thank you all. Thank you so much. If you haven't liked, comment, subscribe, do that. Really, really appreciate it. It helps out the channel. On that train, on that journey to 1,000 subscribers. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to what I'll be able to do with 1,000 subscribers, with 2,000, with 5,000, with 10,000. I wholly plan on putting money back into the community, whether or not it's with 25% of all profit donation or using those profits to create a nonprofit to do that exact same thing. Because a lot of nonprofits don't put all the money in, they have administration expenses and stuff. So it depends on which nonprofit you trust. Like, the Susan B. Anthony for breast cancer was huge in the news a while ago because they didn't give 100%, not even 90%, not even 80%. Some estimates of what they said was about 25 to 30%. So let's say you gave $10. Only like, 230, 250, 280 of that $10 would actually go towards the cancer research. So that's what you get when you have a nonprofit that's more so focused on certain people and the bonuses and all that type of stuff. But either way, that's definitely a huge plan for the channel. So yeah, comments.
Oh, he's going faster.
Oh, I liked it. Started out with a video that I was there with them. It's pretty cool. It was a great time, and that's kind of the place that I was talking from. Hey, I have met these people twice. I'm not their best friend, obviously, but they're genuine people. And Tom is a genuine person who is trying to figure out life like everyone else, who isn't perfect. JUJI has his stuff. I don't know what his stuff is, but I'm sure he has some stuff. Maybe it's that he's too shy sometimes, or maybe that he's not able to. Who knows? That's for them, and we can be there, support them, enjoy the content that they make. Just like with the content that I create. I hope it genuinely has some benefit to you, whether or not you just enjoy hearing my opinion, my genuine expression, my, interest, my creativity in this way to try to talk with you, the audience, all of you, wherever you are, whoever you are. So that's part of it. But yeah, some of the comments, start with some of the positive. Love that. From Will S. Great work, Joe. Indeed, all we need to know, that being nothing because it's none of our business. No fan is in the place to say anything real about the situation because no one other than the individuals who are close to Tom and JUJI actually know the content and the details of the situation. That's very true. I mean, we know details from the court documents and all that type of stuff, but from someone who has been personally dragged through the mud and who has been seriously, legitimately arrested because of just bullshit that someone made up, those are it's a thing. And that got out with certain people, and it's there is a separation between public and private. I understand that as a public person, someone who is openly showing his condo, his world, this is my home, you know, I'm letting you into that public, that personal kind of space kind of thing. This is no longer private. But there are certain things about my girlfriend, about my relationships, some things about the business and my history, which I hope to remain private. You know, I don't care if they become public. It's just, I mean, I do, but it's one of those things that I'll talk about, explain, and go through. You know, oh, this is what happened. This is blah, 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 blah. All that stuff. Which is what JUJI and Tom have, you know, is going on for them. And that's not something that, you know, we can be fans and enjoy their fitness content. Look forward to what JUJI is posting, because he's already got some good stuff out there. It's pretty cool. You can already see how Sam is like the shy camera woman, but don't call her a camera woman. But either way, yeah. So back to the comments. Yeah, and a couple people mentioned about he may have a drug or gambling addiction. But, you know, some of the funnier comments. Ooh, I like the one though. UTF X Stu got me correct on the World's Strongest Man. Martins was the 2019 World's Strongest Man, and Novikov was the 2020 World's Strongest Man. Seriously, if you've ever seen Novikov, he has a badass tattoo right here. It's really cool. I'm trying to get a tattoo at some point across all this, but it's a good comment. Mario Cordelli, I like the message of the video. Caught me being nosy. Looks like a lot of people can't handle a little cognitive dissonance. And that was pretty funny because cognitive dissonance, which is basically the act of being inconsistent or irregular in thoughts, behaviors, actions. You know, that definitely got a lot of people, because the title of the video, you know, it's meant to get you. It's meant to draw you in. Not sure what the title of this video will be yet, but it says JUJI and Tom are no more. All you need to know. So obviously you assume, you think, oh, he's going to tell us everything about it. What's going on? What are the details? What's the drama? The nitty gritty. No, that's not what I'm saying. I told you what you need to know. That it's a mental health issue. That someone needs, that's their time. They need to go through something. They need to figure something out. And especially because it's already settled civilly. Move on. Move forward. You know, be happy with your life. Enjoy it. And be grateful for what you have, because, you know, you can go shopping in a grocery store and then be done. Hair Cleaver, sub because you're a quality human person. Thank you. I genuinely appreciate that. I hope when you go back and look at some other videos, you agree. Some of them are better than others, but, you know, it's part of it. Another one, Hammer Ham. Who's this clown? Oink, oink, I am. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Are you surprised? Oh, Dallas, you lifting weights hurts my eyes. Please learn more. And then T. Morales followed it up with, my man was twisting on those overhead press like a belly dancer. I just thought that was hilarious. So, seriously, y'all, thank you so much for watching, for commenting, subscribing. If I got you on the video and, you know, you got emotionally checked and you're just like, wait, what the heck is he doing? What is this bullshit? I get it. You know, I was very torn. Do I talk about all the details? Heck, there's another video that has 150,000 views. Granted, that has 400,000 subscribers, but either way, it's, you know, details and salacious details like that. That's what makes tabloids run. And there's been a big back and forth between public and private, and that's something, legally speaking, is very interesting to me. But, comments over. Let's open up the laptop and check out the other topics for the day. Thank you all, seriously. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go through and clip this video up into certain, and just, it's one take, always one take. But going to go clip it up and put it together, basically. Take out all the random nonsense. Okay, so this video was a compilation of certain ideas throughout the week. It is not complete because I've been busy. I actually had a video shoot on Wednesday, which was pretty cool. One of my first couple official video shoots, so that was really cool, working with a couple other up-and-coming kind of like content creators and like influencer organizers to create content. So that's been pretty cool. Looking forward to that. Actually going to his cryo studio today to do a first-time experience cryo video, so looking forward to posting that. Got some other videos planning for today, hopefully, and tomorrow. But yeah, so videos for today. One, Dr. Oz. Like we talked about, he should not be a Jeopardy host. Unfortunately, he's promoted a little bit too much pseudoscience, and that's that. On Tuesday, I missed it, but it was Atheist Day, which I thought was pretty funny. Just like any, you know, specific holiday celebration like that, it's all just I mean, there's days for everything. There's Agnostic Day, there's Christian Day, there's Islam Day, I mean, there's Hindu Day, there's National Pizza Day, there's everything. So I just thought that was kind of cool. But not only was it that, it was National Agriculture Week and Agriculture Day, which is really, really cool because that whole industry, I mean, is literally responsible for our food, fuel, clothing, and it's incredible. I mean, the U.S. food and water system and economy is just not next to none because, America is not the best in every way. We can get back to that, but yeah, for employing over 20 million people, that's pretty damn cool. So getting into nitty-gritty details, part of the video is going to be about the Second Amendment and all of that type stuff. So I literally looked up what the Second Amendment is. And, it's not that crazy complicated, actually. If you go and look Untold, NPR... So, highly recommend check out the NPR podcast called More Perfect. It goes into the Second Amendment a lot in terms of the actual wording, and it breaks it down. But basically, the Second Amendment says, verbatim, and I'll put the text up, a well-regulated militia, comma, being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, comma, shall not be infringed. So basically, all right, starts at the end. Shall not be infringed. What? What shall not be infringed? The right of the people to keep and bear arms. Cool. And why do they need to do that? Because it's necessary to the security of the free state. And who's like the group responsible for this? A well-regulated militia. So the interpretation is basically like they backed it up. So the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's pretty damn clear. You should be able to have a gun, right? But then it's like, necessary to the security of a free state. Okay, so if it's necessary to the security of the free state, is that just like a state army? Is that the National Guard of each state? The State Guard? And then a well-regulated militia. Okay, so we do have militia groups, and those are, constitutionally viable. They're not illegal. There are certain ones which are doing illegal activities. But just the act of having a militia to defend your community, defend your state, that's not illegal. So is the Second Amendment specifically referring to the well-regulated militia? Is it referring to the free state, like individual states that make up the United States of America? And then, or is it the individual right of individual people to own and use arms, keep and bear arms? So, while I'm not a law professor, I do not have a law degree, come to a certain understanding about some things and about our society. I live in the United States. I'm a proud United States citizen. America, patriot, woo! Guns, freedom, democracy, world helpfulness. That's our imperialism, which is, that's a stark reality of the world, that the United States has been very imperialistic, but so has every other country in the world. Or at least they've tried to, or they wanted to. So there's a lot to unpack there, and that will be future videos, of course. But amendment. We need to amend the Constitution. There we go. To basically replace the Second Amendment with something that's more well written out, addresses the different needs of both the state and the federal and the individual. Because basically, everyone should be able to own, in my opinion, this is flat out, everyone should be able to own a pistol. Done. Everyone should be able to own a shotgun for the home. So there's 3 different areas. If you're in your home, you can own a pistol and a shotgun. If you're out in public, you can carry a pistol, but you can't carry your shotgun. And then never, in normal time, can you use an AR-15. You can go to a shooting range and use the AR-15. You can do that. And maybe with certain testing, certain authorization, clearances, mental checks, background checks, all that type of stuff, then maybe you can bring it home. I mean, AR-15 is an incredible thing. I mean, the list of different shooting events that have happened with AR-15, just Bolden recently, Orlando, Parkland, Las Vegas, Aurora, Sandy Hook, the Waffle House, San Bernardino, Odessa, Poway Synagogue, said that wrong. Sutherland Springs, Tree of Life Synagogue. Because you can is a garbage answer for why civilization should be allowed to own an AR-15, like, as just a normal thing, is to be able to like go out and buy it that day and use it that day. I mean, it's a one quote that I thought was really good was by the Supreme Court Justice Chief Warner Burger. The gun lobby's interpretation of the Second Amendment is one of the greatest pieces of fraud, I repeat, fraud, on the American people by special interest groups that I have ever seen in my lifetime. That was a long time ago. He has not seen the recent stuff that they've done, the sugar, the alcohol, tobacco. The real purpose of the Second Amendment was to ensure that state armies, the militia, would be maintained for the defense of the state, individual states. The very language of the Second Amendment refutes any argument that it was intended to guarantee every citizen an unfettered right to any kind of weapon he or she desires. So I would agree, I do think it applies to citizens' rights to own weapons. It doesn't say that they can own any weapon. You know, the federal government is the federal government for a reason. When you live in a civilization, when you live in a democracy, you are abiding by the social contract in which you enter in as living there. You have a choice to move. If you don't like it, move. Both parties have said that over time, and that's the reality. More people should be able to come in if they follow these laws and regulations. Open up the borders. We need to have better immigration. We are literally a nation built on immigrants and different ideas and values and everything churning. And unfortunately, you know, power is shifting. But people don't want to give up power because why would you give up power? Look at history. Look at the 15,000 years of our history when like hunter-gatherers became civilization through agriculture and all that type of stuff. The Young Dryas Comet, a bunch of stuff. We needed weapons. We needed a way to do it. And guns and AR-15s were those weapons. And so now we're at this point where we could make these new laws to address it and say, yes, you can own a gun and carry a gun, but it's these kinds of guns. And yes, you can own a gun and use these guns at home for these kinds of guns and weapons. And yes, there's a lot of different kinds. There's a lot of different types. There's ways that people try to get around laws, but that's just the complexity of the world, and that's it. That's the complexity of the world, and that's it. And when people go and they reference the founding fathers, like, oh, that's not what the founding fathers would have wanted. And like, honestly, yeah, that is a good thing because the founding fathers were the people that wrote the document of which we built our civilization. Cool. Their thoughts and actions and emotions and interpretations and all that stuff are important. But it shouldn't be what dictates our society now. The fact that they wrote it back then and us understanding how and why they wrote it is important for us to move forward and how we rewrite it and continue to rewrite it, because that's literally what the founding fathers wanted, us to rewrite it and improve it and continuing to make a more perfect, like, let's read the Constitution of the United States. There we go. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. So that's just a snippet, but the more perfect part, that's what I was looking for, in order to form a more perfect union. So, honestly, I'd have to disagree because it wasn't perfect at the time. It was the most perfect thing that they could have come up with, but then they still, I mean, hell, the founding fathers literally, like, they kicked the can down the road with slavery. That's the reality of it. They compromised, had the 3/5 law, and they just accepted it. Like, because a lot of the people were in the North. Part of the founding fathers were in the North. Part of them were in the South. The South had cotton, slave owners, plantation farms, and all that type stuff. The North was more already being industrial, but it was just a different. The North was the North, South was the South. Why? Because of weather, because of politics, because of where people founded, where all that stuff. History. It's important. Look it up. But yeah, they pretty much just compromised with the slave owners to basically keep the peace. And obviously, they were part slave owners too. A lot of the founding fathers owned slaves. But the reality is the founding fathers literally, like, they didn't make a perfect union, because if it was perfect, we wouldn't have the problems that we are today. But a lot of those problems are because of our government over time doing certain things, and that's videos and conversations for later. But either way, the Second Amendment, you're coming, put it all together. Constitution, the Second Amendment, it's all part of the whole. Individual rights, and obviously the guy who went around to the grocery store and killed 10 people with an AR-15 infringed on those people's rights. And now that he had his court date yesterday on the 25th, and basically they entered into a plea of incompetence, like mental instability, well, basically they said that they didn't know exactly what the mental health was, so they needed some time to establish what his mental health was, what his mental condition was. Anyone heard of Operation Northwoods? Because that's been part of the research. Very interesting. In lighter news, there was a volcano eruption in Iceland. So there's a lot of really cool videos for there. I'll link a couple up here. 1, 2, 3. Definitely check it out. Really cool drone shots going over this volcano as it's erupting in Iceland. Really, really cool reminder that our world is constantly changing. But yeah, they pretty much have identified the shooter and all that for both of them. They're still figuring out the exact answer for why. Both for the Atlanta shooter and for the Boulder one. And it's just so unfortunate that it keeps happening and we cannot control this. And unfortunately, it's partly because of gun laws, regulations, or lack of regulations, and partly because of just the mental health issues in the United States, which are not properly addressed. We do not talk about it in the right way. And a lot of that, to be honest with you, is because of religion. There's a... especially with younger people, there's a big push to be less religious and more secular, whether or not it's in your individual life, or in your community, or in your local, state, or federal government. The fact that on our money and in our Pledge of Allegiance and in so many different, when you swear on the Bible, there are certain things which are a very clear indicator that our country is not a secular country. And maybe when people say, "Oh, it wasn't founded as a secular country," but it was founded as a country that they wanted to be free from religious persecution. So whether or not it was religion A or religion B not wanting to be persecuted for not being religion A, or religion C, or the lack of religion. In my opinion, there's no difference between lack of religion and religion in terms of freedom to express your own ideas and opinions and thoughts. Especially when it comes to your philosophy and your perspective on the world, whether or not you think that you're reborn or whatever it is. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching and listening. I'm just going to wrap it up there because I think it's a very, very positive thing for us to think about how we can move forward in the future, how we can change things, how we can work together, how we can actually have conversations and talk about things. I'm very much so looking forward to, hopefully not negative comments, but if you got some opinions and you want to say it. I will comment on every single one, respond to every single one. I will try to do that until I'm 100,000 subscribers. That's what I want. I want a community, I want a conversation, and I want to be able to, in some way, hopefully influence your opinions, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, because, I've experienced such I don't know all the feelings, reactions, emotions, feelings, blah, 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 experiences, all that. I don't know everything, but I'm learning, and I'm trying to learn, and I do know quite a lot about history, about people, about society, in terms of what we're doing, about science, space, the mind, the inner mind, exploring it, exploring the world, documenting it, drones, technology, computers, books, history, people, all of it. So thank you.